Okay.
for a long time. And then I stayed with white man family. And they're my close relatives. See, and then I stayed with the Highwalkers. They were my grandparents. I stayed with the Highwalkers first, and then I stayed with the Yellow Foxes off and on for, gee, I don't know how many years. I had my horses down there. And
Were
then
you going to school then?
Yeah, I stayed in school.
Where were you?
Lonebear. I went to school in Lonebear, La Brea. But at La Brea, I went to boarding school, you know.
Uh-huh.
And after I turned 12, Mrs. Peters, the nurse where my dad used to work, got together with my mother. Her brother wanted to put a Indian kid through school. So my mother recommended me. And he came after me in a truck. He took my horses, all my clothes, dirty clothes, and took me to North Dakota. And I lived there for all that summer. And then that winter I came back and went to school in La Brea as a freshman. And then I went back. As soon as school was out, he was here to pick me up. And that summer I worked for him again. And then I told him I want to go back to school in La Brea. So he sent me back to La Brea. And then my junior year, I went back after I was a sophomore in high school. And we checked parochial schools over there. And the first one was St. Mary's. And I liked it.
In North Dakota?
Yeah.
Okay.
And went to Assumption Abbey. And I didn't like it. He says, how come you don't like the school? I said, I don't see no girls here, man. I said, I like girls.
Now, you told me once that at one of those schools, they made you learn Latin.
Yeah, that's La Brea. I still know it.
La Brea?
Yeah.
Amo, amas,
Yeah.
amo.
Mhm.
Okay.
I know all the prayers, most of the prayers.
Uh-huh.
I still know it, man.
Huh.
I was punished if I didn't know it. I mean, learn it. And I became a mass server, you know. I serve mass every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I thought I was going to be a priest, man.
You are a priest. An arrow priest.
I'll be right back.
So what did you do when you were done with school?
Well, after I got out of school, I got basketball scholarships. And one coach even came after me. And the other ones called me, like Carroll College called me, College of Great Falls, and Dickinson College. And Dawson College, the coach came after me. He drove all the way over here. He said, go get your dirty clothes, come with me. And I said, I'll be there in 2 weeks. Within that 2 weeks, I got in trouble. I ended up in jail. And the judge was one of my relatives. And him and my grandfather got together. He said, if you don't go off to school, I'm gonna lock you up for a year.
Oh, no.
So in the 2 weeks I had to hustle. I should have went to Glendive. And I should have called a coach and he would have came out to me. Instead I went to the BIA and they used to send kids off to school. I said, send me anywhere in the United States. My first choice is Denver, Colorado. My next choice is LA. My third choice is Dallas, Texas. And they called me back in a couple of days. I said, waiting period, and then it was 6 months. I said, did you try Hawaii? I said, it's a state now, you know. And the girl was my girlfriend that was taking applications. And she worked here, Roberta Foote.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Roberta was your
Yeah,
girlfriend?
she was my girlfriend. And I told her, I want to go off to school. I said, send me anywhere in the United States. I said, I got to be out of here in 2 weeks. So she got busy. She got me into Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And Cleveland, I said, I'm going to go to barber school. And I said, I want to leave within 2 weeks. So they made a mistake over there in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I was there too early. But my mother saved my Social Security checks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she'd done that. I said, I'm going to give them to you, let you have them,
Mm.
because you have other kids to raise.
To your
I said,
girlfriend?
I said, I can work. Huh?
To your girlfriend? You gave the checks to your girlfriend?
No, my mother.
Oh, your mother.
My mother.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't know she put them away. And then when I was getting ready to leave for Ohio, I was going down to catch a train, Forsyth. And she said, here, I saved them for you.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So I had a lot of money, and I went. And when I got over there, no place was, wasn't registered anywhere.
Mm.
So I went to the YMCA, I stayed there. And then I went to school that Monday. I wasn't registered. He said, you don't start school until another 2 months.
Mm.
And so I had a meeting with the manager. I said, well, just let me cut hair. You can make money. I said, I used to cut hair all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we'll talk about it and let you know. Send me back to the Y. Next day I got a call. They said, we can start you.
Mm.
So they put me in the junior department. I cut 2 heads of hair in there.
That work?
And the check, the haircut check,
Mm-hmm.
said perfect.
Mm.
So they put me way up front where you get tips. And only cut 2 heads of hair in the junior department.
Mm.
So I moved way up. Another kids didn't like it because they put me up there.
Now that's where you were cutting hair for the mafia, huh?
Yeah,
Okay. How was that?
see, that was good. Dirty and good. You want me to put that in that story too?
Oh, yeah. I put everything
dirty,
you said
man.
in. Now,
Wicked.
My understanding is there was a young Northern Cheyenne lady there that you introduced to shrimp. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Remember Lee?
Uh-huh.
He took me out for dinner and he said, try that shrimp, man. I didn't know what it was. I said, how do you eat it? He said, why don't eat that tail part? He said, it was the first time I ever ate shrimp.
Yeah. I used to play with her, you know. They live right behind us.
The neighbors.
Play with her and her brother.
What did you do in Cleveland?
I went to school as business college,
Oh,
business
okay.
college, yeah. I think I stayed there for 65. I came home in 67,
Oh,
July of 67.
so after you cut hair there for a while, you wanted to come home, right?
No,
No.
I met a girl on a blind date and I got with her and we had 3 kids together and then she wanted to come home and after, see, I didn't know she was leaving me. I guess she was leaving me. She took everything and just left 2 sets of sheets, a blanket, a frying pan, a pot so I can cook oatmeal or boil something, 1 plate, 1 cup, 1 spoon, 1 knife, 1 fork,
Mm-hmm.
and a small roaster. And I mean, she cleaned the house.
Mm-hmm.
I had everything, stereo, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
TV, I had 2 TVs. I mean, I was established, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started calling me after so many months. Why don't you come home? I hung on for I don't know how many months. I like my job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I made good money for $2 a head.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of hair cutting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was running a shop, a barber shop. And when he opened the other shop, he had prostitution in there,
Mm-hmm.
a bookie,
Mm-hmm.
and he had 3 chairs in there. And that was by where they used to have the Cleveland Open. And I met Jack Nicklaus, Jim Palmer, Lee Trevino. There was about 6 of them I met. I used to get their hair cut in there.
Oh.
And the jockeys, Willie Shoemaker, and I cannot think of the mother names, man. Just Willie's the only one I remember. Little guys, you know. After the races, they would come get their haircuts.
Are you a golfer?
I used to play golf.
Mm-hmm.
It would be free for me.
Mm-hmm.
I would get the cart for nothing, buy 2 cases of beer and put it on there, and drink the beer and start golfing.
I bet you were real good too.
When I first started golfing, I didn't keep score.
Ah.
You know? I didn't know how to keep score. Finally, I got together with some guys. They taught me how to keep score. But I spent a lot of time at the driving range.
Mm.
I got to thinking if I kept golfing, I might have been good at it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, you were raised, you said, with Cheyenne spirit ways.
Mm-hmm.
But did you keep that up when you were in Cleveland?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what kept me going.
Mm.
I'd pray in the morning, nighttime, even when I was drunk, I would pray.
Mm.
And speak Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm. But there weren't a lot of people you could speak Cheyenne with in Cleveland.
It was just when I got with her,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we had a couple of beers, we'd put Cheyenne aside.
Okay, well, I'm not sure that Mina wants you to talk about those nights when you had a couple of beers.
Those were good times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went, one time we met up at a bar. We were going home and he said he would get a cab for me and this other girl. And so we were all hungry. We stopped at this restaurant, or cafe, and we ordered sandwiches, steak sandwiches, and we were all reminiscing about deer meat,
Yeah.
that meat tasted like deer meat.
Yeah.
And we were all homesick. Oh, man, it tastes like deer meat. In Cleveland, Ohio. But Lee was a really good friend, a good, support.
Mm-hmm. Did you